What's up and welcome to the Indie Credibles Spoilercast of Life is Strange Before the Storm. I'm Lewis.
I'm Tom. I'm not Lewis.
Tom actually reviewed the game for us. So this is going to be about a 25-minute video where we're going to go through Tom's impressions, why he gave the score he did, because it was considerably lower than other outlets, but that's not a bad thing, because I do agree with a lot of what you said.
I've got some issues.
And we're going to talk about the spoiler points and everything like that. So, again, hence spoiler cast. This is a complete spoiler. We're not holding back here. Full spoilers of Life is Strange Before the Storm, and there may be spoilers from the original Life is Strange series as well.
Almost definitely, yeah.
Probably definitely, yeah. So if you haven't played it, then obviously take that into consideration. If you have played it, stay around, listen up. If you haven't played it, but you're not that interested in playing it, then you can get a pretty good picture of what is going on today, because we're going to do this all in a nice 25-ish minute long video.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we go into it?
We shall.
Life is Strange Before the Storm, episode 1. We start at the beginning.
Oh, we're going to go episode.
We'll build a bit of context. So Life is Strange Before the Storm was announced last year, and announced to my surprise, I don't know about you, because I felt like the first one, the 5-episode Life is Strange, just was a good standalone game.
Yeah, it's a really proper, complete story.
Yeah.
And I was very up for a sequel, but maybe different characters.
I was up for a different game, if that makes sense, as in not called Life is Strange. So the same concept of the kind of consequential life decisions and the teen drama that I love, but not with, like you said, the same characters and different story. But anyway, Before the Storm was announced as a prequel. Completely different developers.
Yes.
One of the biggest additions was Ashley Birch wouldn't be voicing the main character, Chloe, due to the writer's strike.
Yeah, in fact, I don't think there's a single person reprising their role from the original game in this game. I don't think there is.
You're right.
Yeah, because there was huge strikes. It was. I've said it in my review. It's out of the developers' control.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them, but it shows.
So, episode 1 starts, and we're all like, we don't know what it's going to do. Obviously, we know it's Chloe based. We don't know what's going to happen with it.
Well, we know it's Chloe and Rachel.
Yeah, sorry, Chloe and Rachel. And Rachel Amber is the elusive character from the original series, if you haven't played it. And
she's talked about a lot.
Yeah, she goes missing. She goes missing in episode... Well, you start on episode 1 and there's this kind of... She's built up this whimsical character that's kind of everyone adores and loves. But she went missing, or she was the first person to go missing from this string of missing young people.
Yeah, she's the one people care about.
And by episode 5, you find out what happened to them, where they went missing, and the whole controversy around the teaching faculty stuff. So yeah, you know it's going to be... Effectively, you know the end point of Before the Storm, don't you? Before the end of it, you know where it has to go to. There's an end point it has to funnel into.
You know where...
So without me being on anymore, episode 1 starts.
Yes.
You scored it a 6 out of 10? Episode 1?
I think so. I should have
it was a 6 out of 10. What did you think of episode 1?
Episode 1 is the best episode of this series.
Okay, so for me that's not the case, but carry on.
I think it's... I'll start with stuff I like first, obviously. I loved going back to the world of the first game. I love Arcadia Bay. I love the whole tone of it. I think it's really... It just feels nice, doesn't it?
It's a cool... Yeah, it's cool. And it instantly caught... The thing that I loved about the original series was the kind of acoustic... It's almost like a surfer village, but there isn't a surfer village vibe to it, if that makes sense. That chill vibe.
No, exactly.
And
it's very chill.
Within the first 10 minutes of episode 1 starting, I got that instant taken back to Arcadia Bay like that, and I was like, okay.
It did. I was like having war flashbacks when it started. I was like, oh, I'm back in Arcadia Bay. And you do feel like you're back there again. Yeah. And that was like the best thing about the episode.
So that was it, okay.
No.
So
how does the episode start? Episode 1.
So it starts with you're at home, aren't you? You wake up in Chloe's bedroom, and you go downstairs, and a lot of it's focused around David. David's getting you lift to school, and all that. So that
the step douche.
Yeah, the 3 episodes, episode 1 for me was broke up into 3 major set pieces.
Right.
And there was the part of home and part of David and all that. So you were kind of like building the ground story that you know Chloe doesn't get along with David, her step douche.
This is all well
known. And then it goes into school, and then you have the kind of little bit of an interlude where she falls out with Drew and has that falling out part. But then there's a big set piece on the train which went on for far too fucking long for me. Jesus Christ.
Really? Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't think it was that
my
bad.
god.
I think you skipped, honestly, the major set piece episode 1, and that is Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh god. So that wasn't a set piece, but that was very good.
Yeah, no, to me, that is the highlight of the game.
So that and Tempest in episode 2 were amazing, I thought.
Tempest is great, yeah.
So they were amazing, but we'll get to Tempest later on.
Yeah.
So yeah, then you go live, then you do the D&D, which is amazing. Like it's
so fun.
Did you go back and play it again?
No, but I played through the whole thing.
So I played it again to see if the choices differ, and they do differ. Like you can have a different outcome to the game. But annoyingly, the different outcome to the game didn't mean, what's his name? Is it Mikey? The geeky kid. Yeah, he didn't have much of a different relationship with you, if that makes sense. If you changed which is a slight annoyance.
Well, I mean, this is one of my gripes with the whole thing. But
okay.
Yeah.
But then we go into that train scene, and that goes on to far too long for me. They're doing the whole, you tell 2 lies and a truth and all that, and I'm like, okay, I get this, but I'm like, this is boring. Like, they can be doing so much more, and I get they're trying to introduce Rachel as a character and give her some development.
She's so fucking like. I'm so weird and different. And all that.
She's not weird at all. And the first scene you see her in, when she's got her hair tied back and shaved at the sides and looking punky, she never looks punky again in the whole thing.
Yeah,
she's the most inconsistent character.
This is the thing. She's painted as this like popular girl who
but
everyone likes.
Why is she popular?
And here's the thing. And then all of a sudden she's like, I'm actually a cool rebel who goes to. It opens at the barn.
Oh, the barn. Sorry, yeah, you're right. It does open at the barn. Yeah.
Well, that's where you meet Rachel for the first time. Sorry, I'm ready you back. Where she saves you from 2 guys who try and kill you. I think
it's fucking stupid. Over nothing. Like,
I can't remember what it was. Did you bump into them or something?
I can't. No,
did you steal the money?
You steal into his. You bumped into his drink.
There's money you can steal from it. I immediately stole.
Oh really?
Yeah. And I wouldn't have done that. This is one of the things I said was really good. I wouldn't have done that as Max.
Because you're playing as Chloe.
When I was Max, it felt wrong to be. It was wrong to be like that.
Yeah.
When you're Chloe, I was like, yeah.
But no, the biggest thing for me was Rachel was just too inconsistent. Everyone was going on about how popular she was, how amazing she was. I didn't see why. Like there was no reason as to why she was. And it was so two-dimensional in terms of, she's a DA's daughter. She's got the big rich parents. And like, how many times have we seen that? Like, really? You're going down this route? Like,
yeah, I agree.
You literally might as well have gone, she's a Montague and then Chloe's a Capulet. You might as well have gone and given those surnames.
And then, in a contrast to that, though, I think Chloe is really good.
She's very good in this.
I really like Chloe. I think they poured all the effort into
I have to say as well,
Chloe.
and this is bad that I don't know the replacement actress's name.
I don't know it either, because she's not Ashley Birch.
She was good.
She is good,
she was good,
and talking about Ashley Birch, she did help with a bit of the writing, especially for Chloe.
she was heavily involved with it. And she's coming back for the deluxe edition holders. And I'm pretty sure if you're not a deluxe edition holder, you'll be able to buy it separate. There's a bonus episode coming called Farewell.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
It's about when Max says goodbye to Chloe before Max goes. So it's before the storm.
Okay.
Which has potential to be good.
before the storm,
all the original actresses and actors are coming back for that one episode.
Good.
And there is another Life is Strange coming next year. We don't know.
There's a Life is Strange season 2.
Yeah.
But I don't nod.
We don't know what it's involved, who it's. We've not confirmed any characters, so it might be completely different. Okay. Before we touch on the end of episode 1, because I know you got some big issues with the end of episode 1.
Yes, I do.
How did you feel? So the big gameplay element from Life is Strange season 1 come through the rewinding of time.
Yes.
How did you did you like the back chat option?
I do like it, but that's what I said in my review, not in my episode review, my full review. I was saying that it's easy. It's very easy.
It is easy, but it's harder than the time mechanic.
That's what I was. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's a step forward in terms of gameplay terms.
And one of the things I had with the problems with the first game is the time travel aspect made it completely unreplayable, because you could just do every scene in every way.
I think it was
and it was
the idea was better than delivery.
Yeah.
I think with the time.
I love the time travel in the first game.
I actually prefer the back chat.
Really?
Because I think time travel is not explained once about why Max has got this ability.
Oh, this is really funny. It's like you've read my review already.
But whereas the back chat is actually, if I was to think of any ability that Chloe would have, that would be it. An obnoxious, stuck-up kid
exactly.
who would back chat.
But also she can see the future or something.
Who, Chloe?
Yeah, or something. She has some kind of weird vision power.
She doesn't have any vision power.
No, I'm sorry. There's dreams and there's weird visions with ravens in them.
The dreams are just... I like the dreams are amazing.
They're really good, but what are they? Why is there a raven in every single one?
It's like The Crow, isn't it? Do you remember from The Crow?
I've never seen The Crow.
Have you seen that Facebook meme when it's like when the guy's riding on the underground in London with a raven?
No.
It's some, for lack of a better phrase, goth sat on the train with a raven just sat on his knee. And everyone's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, really?
He's my hero.
Yeah, what I do? Okay, let's talk about the ending of episode 1. So they've met, they've gone on this weird train journey. They find out that Rachel's
they go to the forest.
dad's, what they think, cheating.
Well, they see
him kissing another
woman.
Yeah.
And then Rachel gets well upset, which is understandable.
There's all this talk about this dry summer, this big drought, and everything's dry and all that. And then they conveniently kick over a bin. But they burn the photo of her dad.
They set fire to a picture of her dad.
Then
put it
kick
in
the bin over.
Rachel kicks it over.
And then starts the biggest county fire you've ever seen.
But more than that, right? What happens is she sets fire to the picture, puts it in the bin, she knocks it over. Fine, a fire will start. That is that is nature at work. But then she screams, and like big gusts of winds go flying past her, and then it's like the fire goes and gets way more. And she does it again.
I replayed this section because after speaking to you on the phone...
I've watched it over and over again.
After speaking to you on the phone, you was like, where did she get a fire-breathing power from? And I was like, fire-breathing power? Have I played a different game?
She has some kind of wind power.
And you were like, no, when she screams... I was like, no, it's just the wind picking up and swelling to the music and making it emotional. You're like, no, it's linked too much to when she screams and breathes. So I played it again and I was like, you are right. I don't think they're meant for that to be, but it is a case of when she screams...
other people's opinions of this, and I was reading through comments in all different videos, and they were like, oh, like... Does she have powers, or is it? Oh yeah, she's definitely got wind powers because she's the storm. People are saying she is the storm in Before the Storm.
We're getting pretty contemporary and artsy partsy, aren't we?
Well, I mean that's what they were going for. I think. I
so.
don't know if they nailed it, but yeah, it's just a weird I ended and I was like, oh wow, okay, so she's got powers. It's linking more to the first game because. You know, Max had weird powers, and I can see her having different powers as well. But after thinking about it, it bugged me because I was thinking, why would Chloe not mention that to Max?
Yeah.
Especially when she finds out Max can control time. You think she'd be like, oh, actually, I need this girl Rachel, and she could control the wind and make fires go really big.
It's a good point, actually. It's a good point. So you sat on a 6 at the end of episode 1.
Yes, I think it was good. But it was not what I wanted.
And 6 is okay to good.
6 is what I would say that's good.
Yeah, 6 is okay in our scoring systems.
Yeah.
5.9 is okay.
Yeah.
And then a 6 is good. So you're like literally on the cusp of okay to good.
Yeah.
And I think for me, the train scene goes on too long, and there's not enough development around.
Junkyard scene's great.
Why Rachel is so whimsical and wanted and
you will never get this.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But no, that's at one point quickly actually you said the junkyard scene.
Yeah.
The moment that whole episode would have been a 5 for me until she walks around a corner and sees William's car sat there.
Yeah.
And it's what the original series done so well was out of nowhere delivering this like sledgehammer of emotional blow and just going like, have that, you bastards.
Yeah, that was.
We're finishing now.
That was.
And you were like,
yeah.
Whoa. Like,
and I also loved the like sort of symmetry to the end of the first, pretty much all the episodes of the original game. Where do you remember in the end of the first one, it snows, in the summer or something, and then it shows all the characters you've met.
Yeah,
and it's like I was like, oh, that reminds me of the first game.
It's very cinematic. It's very cinematic as a whole.
Very pretty.
It is. Yeah.
Well, sometimes
character models and all that aren't brilliant, but
I would say environments can be a bit shit.
Yeah, but
some of them are great.
The way it's all brought together is in a real kind of nice, cinematic.
It blends together nicely.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
So the main things here have been episode 2 is Chloe and Rachel extend their relationship a little bit further.
Oh,
they find out about Chloe's mum.
First thing that happens is Chloe gets expelled.
Oh shit! Yeah, Chloe gets expelled.
It opens up with them because they skipped school the previous day, and then Rachel and Chloe and their parents are in the principal's office. Yeah. Principal Wells is all like, Chloe, you dickhead, you're always a dick, and I'm gonna expel you.
Rachel, you're amazing, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, Rachel says it's my fault. It doesn't matter if it's your fault. Chloe's still a dickhead. It's basically the route it goes down.
Yeah, but I stood up for Rachel.
Yeah, I stood up for Rachel as well, and you get expelled. And then obviously you go out, and then David and your mum are at the car.
Yeah.
And he gets real dickish.
Yeah. Well, this is a bit that annoyed me as well. It's a very, very small thing. But you go to your locker and you look for your stash of weed. And and I got it. Or was it gone? It's gone.
It's been taken.
So, yeah, so I saw it was gone. So I was
someone took it.
So I was like, okay, well, no weed for me. And and I left and everything. And then he's like, empty your pockets. And I was like, okay, well, I've got nothing on me. So I will. And I emptied them. And there was a fucking bag of weed there. And I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah, she had weed on her already.
But then they said there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's her own weed, different weed. She had a separate bag of weed.
No, but I'm saying, but then, did you have a different thing then? Because I had your mum said, there's nothing there, David. And David was like, oh, no.
No, they went nuts at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you must have, when I'd done it, they were like, there was nothing there. And then it played out throughout the whole episode. When your mum was texting you saying, I knew you shouldn't have done that. I'm so glad that you proved him wrong and things like that.
What the fuck?
So you...
Where did I get my weed from then? What does that mean?
I have no idea. But you've got some... you've been baking up somewhere.
What the fuck? No, I know. I bought weed off Frank at the barn.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't.
With the money that I stole.
I didn't because I had no money.
I stole that money, paid him back, and bought some weed.
So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little touch, actually.
Yeah.
That's
I've
carried
only
over.
just made that link.
That's carried over. That's pretty impressive, actually.
Okay. I'll take that one back.
But yeah, and then that leads to Chloe running away, basically.
Storms off, yeah.
Storm off, goes to the junkyard, finds the car that she's going to
the truck
that she's going to...
I like that. I like fixing
because it fits into the original.
Yeah.
It's the same truck. I like the fact that you use William's car to potentially get some parts.
Yeah.
Like, that's a nice touch.
That's really good.
And then the middle bit, I don't think is that important in episode 2. It's all okay. But then...
What's the middle bit? I don't remember.
It goes to where he's fixing up the truck and the junkyard scene where you make the little house. And you talk about running away.
And you have that bit with the... Drew and...
Yeah. So you find out that Drew's... You got to go get some money, and you kind of like a secondary story that plays.
You're
into
doing it for Frank, aren't you?
Yeah.
Frank's asked you to do something, and you have
but
to
then
sneak into the
it
boys'
ends with, I think, one of the shittest cliffhangers. Or it's not a direct cliffhanger.
Well, let's talk about the Tempest first.
Oh shit! Yeah,
you're skimming over all the good bits. The Tempest is great.
Tempest is amazing.
Rachel and all her drama friends are doing a play of the Tempest, and obviously you go to see Rachel just because you love her, I guess, after day 2 of knowing her. And and their I don't know what the character is, but one of their characters can't make it because of the fire, and then you fill the role and you get given the script and you actually have to remember the lines.
So did you do it properly?
I did it pretty well. I forgot a couple lines.
You idiot.
Well, come on, I did all right.
I used my phone and took pictures. I took pictures of the script. I nailed it.
I don't fuck up like that.
Okay? And I nailed it.
I was immersed. I am Chloe. Chloe ain't going to get her phone out on stage, is she? So I tried to remember it with my brain.
And the delivery was really good. And it's
great. I love that. The whole scene is great.
Yeah.
And I love how emotional it gets. And that is the first time where I was okay with them even liking each other.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, it has been 2 days at this point.
I like the direct scene afterwards when they're walking home and they're kind of talking, and she's like, it's a high being after a show, and they're talking about running away, let's do it now. And then that's what leads directly into them going back home to Rachel's to pick up the pack for them to leave. Yeah. I thought that was all done really well.
That was that whole, from Tempest to get into Rachel's house is like one of the best parts of the whole series.
Yeah.
Because it's the only time I've seriously believed them as...
Yeah, they were grounded, weren't they?
Let's say a couple. Did you have their couple in your one? I guess you could not have them be a couple.
Yeah, there was one part at the end. When's the part when you can choose to tell her how you feel? Is it at the end of episode 1? It's the end of episode 1.
You can
choose to say more than friends or just friends.
I said just friends.
I said more than friends.
But they've known each other for a day. And I was like... No, I don't like you. Fuck off. I barely know you crazy witch.
I said more than friends, and that kind of she she runs off, does that whole crazy thing. She doesn't speak to you, and then you find
yeah.
out. She's like, I'm so glad you were honest with me and told me and all that. But anyway,
But the thing is,
going back to her house.
like, what was I going to say? I said about the Tempest, but it's gone. Just you saying.
Going back to her house is then when it all leads up to confronting her dad about why he was kissing.
Yeah, because you have to have a family dinner.
Other woman. It's weird.
It's awkward, yeah.
And then that's when the dad announces that the woman he was kissing was actually. See, I don't get this.
What?
That kiss that he kissed her with, it wasn't a goodbye. It was like a full-on kiss. And he goes, it was a goodbye kiss. That wasn't a fucking goodbye.
I don't
peck
even
on the
really
cheek.
remember it. It was from a distance. So.
A peck on the cheek would be a goodbye kiss. Like, they were fully went for a kiss.
They were like... They were in love for a long time.
It was his
ex...
like,
see ya, like his mum.
Ex-wife or ex-girlfriend?
I think they were married.
Who is actually Rachel's mum.
Yeah.
Drug addict. That's why. And then he kind of comes up with this whole...
They're like high school sweethearts.
This is why you've not been in touch with her. She's a drug addict. She couldn't get off the drugs. We ran away, basically. I've sent her money. She's taken the money, not wanting to see you, and all this stuff goes on. But that part where he's like... Yeah, it's meant to come across, I think, more impactful when he says, oh no, that's not any other woman. That woman was your real mum. And I was like, well, that was shit. What a bad delivery.
I saw it coming a mile off.
I was just like, that was not...
It's so dramatic and like...
I wasn't like... Like,
no, neither was
episode 3 of the biggest shock I think I've had in the whole of the Life of Strange series, prequel and original, was the beginning of episode 3 when Chloe's in a wheelchair.
Oh fuck yeah!
And that genuinely, I was like,
that fucks you up.
Jesus Christ, where did this come from?
Yeah,
this was like a scratch on the surface compared to that, and I felt like it should have been a bigger story note, and it wasn't. Yeah,
I mean, it's. So I'm waiting until we get to the end to actually go in on this because there's a lot. It all feeds into how this series is just not as good as the original.
Well, that kind of led into the end of season or episode 2. Then was Rachel upstairs in a mood.
Hang on, episode 2, right at the end, when you're sitting down at the dinner table and you can see Rachel's getting really angry at all the things that Dad's saying. Chloe in her head is saying stuff that to me was alluding to her powers. Because she was all like, oh God, can't let her get angry. Remember what happened at the forest and all that, and I was like, yeah, can't let her get angry. Like she'll blow the whole house down. I was expecting something mental.
She'll huff and she'll puff and she'll blow them all away.
Pretty much, I was expecting something absolutely mental to happen. When he did the reveal, I thought she was going to go fucking ape shit and just destroy the house or something. But no, she just smashes a glass table, and I was like, oh wow, cool. Thanks for mentioning the whole power thing again.
But then it ends up to Rachel being upset and Chloe talking to her and confiding in her and them saying that
you got to her room at the end of
they love each other. I mean, do they kiss at the end? Is that when a kiss happens? At the end of...
No, I kissed her in episode 2 in the street on the walk.
In the street, that was it, yeah. But that's when they kissed in. And then I can't remember exactly how it ends. Episode 2. Episode
2 ends with him being like, "That's your mother," and then
that is the end.
And then the credits roll.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a
So that is the end.
Yeah, that's the end.
Oh, okay.
And then episode
because when episode 3 starts directly,
it's like you're like sitting down in the living room now.
Yeah.
And the dad's telling you who she is and how they met and what's happened basically in their lives.
And you have to go upstairs, talk to
Rachel. Pretty upset, understandably, and you go and console her a bit. It's quite a nice scene. You have to try and cheer her up. You have to look around her room to try and figure out how to cheer her up. And I quite like that. And you have a talk with her, and obviously she's very depressed basically of this whole thing. And when you talk to her, it doesn't really help her, but she's like not alone. So that felt quite real to me. It felt quite like you feel like you've been in that situation where you're trying to help someone who's really upset, but it doesn't really work. But you just know that being there with them is better. And that's one of the better emotional scenes in the whole thing.
Yeah. It's not. That was the biggest thing for me. I think that the emotional, because it is effectively at the end of the day, it's a teenage drama.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all it is.
It's very, very teenage drama.
It's a teenage drama,
which we're both fans of.
Yeah. But the first one delivered on its emotional story notes really well. This one I felt like missed 2 or 3 key story notes that it had like beats that should have been like boom, there you go, boom, there. And I just felt like they were either delivered at the wrong time or just delivered slightly off key.
This whole thing misses emotionally everything. It doesn't nail it right.
It feels
ever.
rushed.
It's this whole thing with this whole 3-episode story taking place in less than a week doesn't make sense.
No,
because they wouldn't be this close.
So we jump straight to the end because I think most episode 3. Because I think
episode 3, sorry, yeah.
Episode 3, most of it is
fucking
just
boring.
Yeah,
nothing happens.
Not really. And then at the end, there's this build up to what you think is gonna be a big standoff.
Sorry, I keep cutting you off, but there's things I keep remembering that I want to talk about.
Go on.
Basically, we've just forgotten to say Rachel gets stabbed in episode 3 in the arm, right? There's a whole thing with.
But is that impact? Does that make a big difference?
That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm saying.
So you go, no, it's shit. You're like, oh, okay, she got stabbed.
Yeah.
And you go to hospital, and then you're in the hospital waiting for her.
Oh, you know it's firefighters.
You have to walk around, yep. And you walk past some firefighters, and I stood next to them, right? Obviously, they've been dealing with the forest fire this whole time. So I stood near them, and they're like, did you hear the fire went out? And he's like, what, you under control? And he's like, no, it just went out. And I was like, what? So she got stabbed, and then this massive forest fire just died. This forest fire they've been fighting for days, and a firefighter is shocked that it's gone out. He's like, whoa, what the fuck? He's telling his mate, and he's like, what? That's crazy. She has powers. Clearly. She has powers, and it's never mentioned again.
Yeah.
That's the last time you hear about anything supernatural.
I'll be honest, I missed that. I didn't listen to the firefighters, and after I'm taking your word for it, but I didn't get the whole supernatural elements that she potentially has.
You didn't even see it, did you?
No, not really, until speaking to you more.
Yeah.
Maybe I just looked at it bleary-eyed and for rose-tinted glasses and just looked at it as a teenage drama. But the ending of episode 3 builds up to what you're gonna think is gonna be a big showdown.
You're gonna see. You're building up to this big showdown. Like this dodgy guy is a friend of Frank's. Got Rachel's mother, and Rachel's dad is like, basically you find out he had this whole deal ready to get her back on heroin, so that she doesn't want to see Rachel anymore, and he's like paying him off, and he's doing all these dodgy dealings under the table. He's destroying evidence.
Her dad's the DA.
He's the DA, and he's got this evidence, and he's like made a deal to destroy it. Basically, you do it all for him, because you've got you're there at the hospital, and you snuck into the house, and you're like on the phone to the dodgy guy, like where's. And
then the most random thing ever.
This was the scene I hated the most.
It was so.
I know I keep saying that, but
it was so bad.
This one guy who fancies.
What's even his name?
I don't know. I didn't even recognise him when he came in. I was like, oh, is it that guy?
I was like, who is he?
In episode 1 and 2, basically, he like asks you out.
No,
almost.
I think he sends 3 messages over the whole course of 2 episodes.
Basically, fancies you a bit, and you stand him up at Tempest thing because you're on stage, and he doesn't seem that upset about it. And I was never mean to him this whole time. I never said that I liked him. I was never mean to him. And he comes in like a fucking lunatic.
Cuckoo bullshit crazy.
Yeah, like first of all, he follows you there, right? And then he's all like, "Oh, I'm helping you, Chloe. You don't know what you're getting into." And I was like, "You know what you're getting into, you dickhead."
And then he locks the door.
Yeah, and then
he's like, "You're not going anywhere."
You have to like, it's creepy as well because you have to like secretly call the police behind your back, and like you're like talking to him, but you're saying stuff like, "I need help," talking to the police, but you're talking to him, and it's all like, what the fuck is going on?
It reminded me of Expendables 3.
I've not seen that one.
Because Expendables 1 I quite liked. It's over the top action. Expendables 2
forgettable.
Is okay.
2's better, I think.
Expendables 3 had the case where there's like 5 guys, 200 other people firing down them. You're like, oh, then this it, they're over. They're never getting out of this. And the director's obviously gone, I know what we do. We'll bring Jean-Claude Van Damme back in a helicopter.
Of course.
And just blow everyone up. Because there is no other way of getting out of it. And that's exactly what it reminded me of. Was the creators went, how do we get out of this? Well, that guy that has very little interaction with you and sends you about 3 messages over 5 and 6 hours gameplay, we just get him to come in and be like cuckoo back crazy.
I wish I just ignored him.
Why does he turn up? It changes nothing to the outcome of the game. It changes nothing during the game. It adds 20 minutes of needless gameplay, tedious needless gameplay, and then it stops because you're looking forward to this showdown you're potentially going to have.
It stops the momentum.
It's an episode 7 of Life is Strange, season 2.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Oh, yeah. That shit.
You mean Stranger Things, not Life is Strange?
Yeah, because we're talking about Life is Strange. Stranger Things, season 2.
It's weird and unnecessary.
Crap.
When he first showed up in the first episode, he reminded me of I've forgotten his name, but the kid who likes Max.
Oh
nice
yeah, I
guy.
know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But he's like him, but nowhere near as likable, and barely has any interaction with Chloe at all. When I first saw him, I thought, is he like the alternative if you don't want to have a gay relationship or whatever?
Yeah.
He's like your alternative, but he's not really, because you don't even. He's just there. He's just sort of there, and he's crap, and I hate him. And I don't know why he shows up.
He's crap.
He is crap. He's useless.
He's useless.
But what even worse than that actually is the showdown. So you find out that
it's not really a showdown, is it?
That's the thing. Rachel's mum's at the barn that burnt down. That they had the concert in the first episode.
Oh, there's a part where Frank says in one of the episodes,
"Yeah,
you hear the barn burnt down."
Yeah,
and it's not burnt down.
It's like slightly broken.
But he was like, "Oh, it's true, isn't it?" He goes, "Do you hear the barn burnt down?" And they're like, "Oh, that sucks."
Yeah, the barn.
And then you're like, "I don't know the barn." I'm like, "That burnt down." They go back there, and there's like maybe 2 or 3 wood panels missing.
And it's not even singed really. Well, the first bit is singed, but then when you go into the showdown area, it is quite nice in there.
Yeah, it's not that bad at all.
But you go in there and you've got the money to give the guy so that you can pay him to give you Rachel's mum, Sarah, that's her name, and you go in there and you're like, I've got the money, guy, whatever his name is.
It looks suspiciously like Sarah Connor from Terminator.
She does have a bit of that to her, yeah. Spelled differently though. Yeah. Hers is spelled weird.
It is true.
And then then Frank's there and he's like, "Oh, Chloe, oh no," but then basically you get knocked out.
Is it Damon?
Damon, yeah.
That's the drug dealer guy.
You get knocked out immediately, right? Mm-hmm. Like instantly, and you wake up and Sarah's there and she's fine and she's like, "Oh yeah, Frank took care of that guy. Your friend Frank took care of him. Don't even worry about it." And I was like, "What?"
We have no idea what Frank took care of.
I thought it was a dream.
We had no idea.
I thought it was another dream sequence because it was.
She was sitting there perfectly fine,
smoking a cigarette. She's like, "Yeah, Chloe, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good."
And then she tells you the truth about what happened, and she tells you that she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to meet Rachel.
And she's like, "Don't tell Rachel the truth about her father being a." And
can't say that word.
Beat me out. And basically, like, you can try and argue with her, but it's like whatever. It's not even a real argument because she just whatever she says goes.
Yeah. And
then you leave, and that's the showdown. And then you can choose to tell Rachel.
That's the end of 3 mediocre to good episodes. Culminating together to bring you
a crap little conversation
very
you barely
bad
take
showdown.
part in. Yeah.
I will say though, so all that happens, and then once the final 5 minutes started rolling, and I say started rolling because
after you've either told Rachel the truth or not,
you choose to tell her the truth.
Nothing.
It doesn't, because we found out you told her the truth.
I told her the truth.
I didn't tell her the truth, and there's about a 5-second cutscene that's different.
Yeah, in my one, as the music swells, you can't hear her. She looks upset, and then she screams at her parents, and then cuts away from that. And
in my one, the parents come in and comfort her with Chloe there, and then the music swells and it carries on. And then it has the whole where it goes around all the different characters and how they're getting on and all things like that. And the whole time that was playing, I was thinking in my head, okay, please don't show us what happens in episode 5, the original, in the bunker, because it's horrible. If you think about that's what the original series, the effect I had was, I almost felt a little bit sick watching that the first time because you thought, oh my god, these poor women were drugged, taken down into a bunker, taken pictures of when they were
and you're in the place of it as Max. You're in that.
You find that place, and you know that's what happened to Rachel because you find her folded down in there at the end of episode 5. Sorry, at the beginning of episode 5.
Yeah, it's very grim.
And I was like, you don't need to show that because I was quite happy to see them. They get tattoos and like it's all very.
It's like I like that. It's like, see, they're actually friends now because they've known each other for more than 10 minutes.
That's what I mean. But it's still very quick. But it's nice, and I quite like this whole kind of. It felt like a bit of closure because as a player, you should know what's going to happen to Rachel. You don't almost didn't need to be shown.
This is like a flaw in prequels in general. Like if you look at the Star Wars prequels, which are bad prequels, they tell you everything. They tell you all the spoilers from the original trilogy. But they shouldn't do that. They should keep them ambiguous, so that if you watch them first, when you get to spoiler alert, I am your father, it's a reveal.
Yeah.
But when you see, that Anakin has had a child with Padme, and she goes, Luke, Leia at the end.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter anymore because that you've ruined all the mystery of the original.
But I didn't think. So when they do show, because you do see the last shot, the very last shot is a shot in a bunker, and all it is a bunker.
That is true.
And I thought I didn't want to see that because I was quite happy with it. But then that just reiterated to me how good the first one was. Because it made me feel so... I don't know if sad's the right word. Somber almost. It finished and I kind of sat there and was like, fuck, that actually happens to Rachel. Like, you forget that happens to her. And there is no change in that. That's been done. That happens. She doesn't live. She dies.
Exactly, yeah.
Because this weird fascination with taking pictures of women when they're... Yeah,
but does it not make you want to play the original game so much?
Yeah.
I'm going to replay it. I've decided. I'm going to replay the first game again.
I will play it again. I'm pretty busy at the moment, so I'll play it when I can. But yeah, it does reiterate for me how good it was. And that actually, I think it was probably the ending, I think. The last 5 minutes of Life is Strange Before the Storm was surprisingly good compared to what it was wrapping up.
I mean, it was just a montage, though. It was a nice montage.
That's what I mean.
And it looked great, and it made me feel something, but I wasn't like... Overall, the whole thing is just sort of meh.
But that's what the whole... As a franchise, Life is Strange, it should be that storytelling that makes you feel something or moves you some way. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
It is just melodramatic teen drama.
Oh, yeah.
But it's delivered in a way that makes you question it almost. Be like, wow. Because it's built around what they call consequential decisions.
There are no consequences to this at all.
No.
Yeah.
There aren't really in the first one either.
No,
massively.
There aren't, but I think this one...
Apart from the final decision.
Yeah. What you mean in...
Episode 5.
Yeah. There's even a secret ending.
Yep.
Where Rachel meets her mum.
Uh-huh.
And to be fair, I did skim through the video of it, but
how does this happen?
From what I can tell, basically, there's a scene when you're walking to Rachel's house in episode 2 after the performance. She's like, what can I give you to tell you I'm serious about leaving? And then I chose a kiss.
Yeah.
Which seems like the most obvious choice.
Yeah.
But you can say your bracelet. Mm-hmm. And the bracelet is her mum's. And then there's a bit of a conversation and she gives you the bracelet. And then I skimmed through it and everything other than that, it cuts to the conversation between Chloe and Sarah.
Okay.
And then they're talking, but that doesn't seem to go well. Like at the end of it, she's like, goodbye, Chloe, like she's in all the other ones.
Okay.
And then at the end of the montage,
yeah,
when they're sitting on the bench by the lighthouse, that was nice, by the way, seeing the lighthouse.
Yeah.
Sarah just walks up with a flower. And she's like, good to Rachel, and Rachel's like, oh, and they hug, and it's like, and it's just like, well, then what is the point?
Yeah. The biggest question for me was, going into Before the Storm, was does it need to be made? That's the biggest question.
That's what I was thinking.
It needs to justify itself. Does this justifiably change the way I feel about episode 1?
Absolutely not.
No. Not
even a tiny bit.
No.
Because I feel like you learn everything you needed to learn about Chloe and Rachel in episode 1, and it's told to you in a better way than this whole series did.
Do you mean original series? Not
original series, yeah.
I almost preferred Rachel as that ambiguous character.
It's way better.
That you were making up your own stories about, if that makes sense. In your head, you're making up your own ideas about.
And you're
rather than being... Because it was so on the nose, but not in a good way. Do you know what I mean?
With Rachel, yeah.
Yeah. We have no idea what that noise is. I don't know if the mic's picking up. Yeah. But yeah, so that wraps up overall. You scored a 6 out of 10.
What, for the whole series?
No, so a 6 for episode 1.
Yeah, it's 6.
A 6 for episode 2.
6.7, I think.
6.7 for episode 2.
Yeah.
And then you scored a 5.5 for episode 3.
Yeah.
5.9
is the overall.
So I think we'll say a 6.
Oh no, I don't want to give it a 6. I don't want to give it a 6.
Okay.
I'm saying 5.9.
It's your review.
It is my review, so shut up, Lewis.
Okay, sorry.
Right.
5.9.
I'm giving it a 5.9 because it is okay, and I think all the good things about it are things from the original game, not things that they've done themselves.
Apart, no.
Back chat. is good.
Chloe
is great.
3 key things that are very good. Backchat, D&D, Tempest.
I don't want to include D&D. You can't include that in a review. It's great. Make that Deck 9. If you want to make a great game, make a D&D game.
It is 15 minutes of the game, and Tempest is the same. It's only 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Tempest is great. That's a great part of the game.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's all just sort of a bit.
Yeah.
It's just not great.
Well, that is our Life is Strange Spoilercast. Thanks for joining us, and if you stay around for the whole lot of it, then thank you again. Hopefully we didn't spoil anything for you, because you shouldn't be watching it if you haven't played it and you want it. Would we recommend playing? If you say so now, I don't know. I've never played Life is Strange. I want to play it. Do you recommend playing Before the Storm before playing
Absolutely
original?
Not. I would say just play the original and leave it at that.
Yeah, I personally would say that as well. If you want to play the Life is Strange Before the Storm, then do so. But personally, I don't think it sits anywhere near in the same boat as the original.
No, it's not even close.
But again, thanks for watching, guys. This is going to be available everywhere, but we also recently started our video podcast. You can see this is our set. It's not the most amazing, elaborate set, but we are still up and coming. And if you do want to see our video podcast or other podcasts we do, you can support us on Patreon. $1 gets you audio, $3 gets you early access to the video feed and the audio feed. And we really appreciate it. All that money goes in towards building the set out, getting new recording equipment, getting better lighting, because you can see our lighting is a little bit iffy at the moment.
It'll get better, I promise.
But no, we hope you enjoyed it, and please leave your comments below if you want to give us feedback on how we've done, or if you have played Life is Strange, what you think of the game, because we'd love to know as well. And until next time, thanks for watching, guys. Adios.
Bye.